With all the bad news happening around Microsoft and Xbox lately, it wasn't going to take long before they actually came out and sort of made some sort of announcement to the contrary, or to, just let everybody know kind of what was going on. And I think that that's exactly what this is. And I also feel like, people are maybe going a little bit far with their hatred over Microsoft. So what happens is basically, we know that not only has Microsoft laid off a huge amount of people, but now Google has, Riot Games has. A lot of places are laying off workers, unfortunately, for many reasons, clearly heading more towards a recession and things like that. And in Microsoft's case, we don't know how many people were laid off from the Xbox division. It seems like, from all counts, under 200 people total, which wouldn't be like a total disaster in terms of kind of restructuring and things like that. If you guys remember, Sony back in the day, Sony Santa Monica actually laid off over half their workers, canceled the game, and really cast doubt on what they were doing. Sony Santa Monica, for a time there, was more of an assist studio, helping out with other games, like indie games like Hohokum and The Order 1886. They assisted there before getting back on track with God of War, thankfully. And hopefully Microsoft's can as well. 343 will be able to do that, and you have to kind of reassess some things, hopefully, anyway. But I want to get into this a bit of a response because I thought it was very interesting. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It really helps out the channel and means a lot to me personally. Listen, I think it's always such a strange thing, everything that we've seen so far. It's just been a little bit crazy lately, and again, it's one of the things that kind of happens in the industry. People don't want to talk about it or whatever, and it's super unfortunate. It really is, and I really feel bad for those affected, and think that, but a lot of people were wanting sort of restructures anyway. And anyway, like I said, like the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos. It's kind of my little goal for the year. But anyway, they sort of got some response about Halo Infinite and the roadmap, but apparently a lot of people were maybe going a little too far with what was happening there, and the roadmap hasn't really changed there. Following the layoffs at Microsoft, the company Halo Infinite's developers is rumored to remain unchanged at 343 Industries. Now, the announcement left many fans wondering what the future of Halo Infinite would look like, considering 343 was among the main affected divisions inside the tech giant, and now it appears like there's some clarity on the franchise's future. Now, earlier in the week, Microsoft announced that it was laying off 10,000 jobs across various sectors, including Xbox, which was 343, and Bethesda, and a few others, in a bid to trim the company's expenses and adjust for the coming year. Now, following this news, unfortunately, this unfortunate news as it was revealed that Halo Infinite's director, Joseph Staten, was also leaving 343, and that the studio's campaign team was going to restructure. Now, back in 2020, Staten was specifically brought into 343 to head Halo Infinite, though his departure after 2 years may not bode well for the studio. However, one person claims that it might not be the case for the Halo franchise in general. According to a known insider, which was then corroborated by multiple people, including Jason Schreier and Jez Gordon from Windows Central, Halo Infinite's 2023 roadmap will reportedly remain unchanged despite the layoffs. There's apparently a lengthy spreadsheet that the majority of the departures are creative and narrative content teams are due to the divergent divisions within the studio itself, referring to the prioritization of live service elements as opposed to the challenges of developing solo content and sustainable monetization options for the studio. Nevertheless, they also mentioned that some 343's existing Halo Infinite projects with other studios will continue, including with the Forge with Skybox Labs, map and content with Spearsoft, as well as modes and elements developed with Certain Affinity. So that's good to know at this point as well. It's unclear how 343 will approach narrative solo content for Halo in the coming future, as the studio is yet to reveal concrete plans after the layoff. On the other hand, this could mean that long-rumored Halo Infinite Battle Royale could become a reality, considering how the current strategy points to a possible focus on the game's multiplayer elements. Also notes that 343's future with the series would come down to two focal points: to coordinate the follow-up to Halo Infinite and to possibly franchise the Halo license to other studios, which is a big rumor as well. time's going to tell if those are going to actually turn into reality. But how things will pan out beyond 2023 remains to be seen, and a lot of it would depend on Microsoft's own long-term vision for the gaming future with 343, though some fans take issue with this considering Microsoft is planning to get Activision Blizzard. So there's all this kind of rumors and things going into kind of what's happening with Microsoft's gaming and things like that. And, you know, there's never really been a situation where we continue to hear like great news or anything like that around Xbox. Everybody always wants it to be negative. Unless you're an Xbox fan, then of course you're hoping for you know, more positive stuff. So like some of the rumors, like I said, was that the game did meet Microsoft's goals and things like that. But anyway, that was sort of rebuked a little bit. And, you know, they said that in terms of, according to anyway, Jason Schreier and Jez Gordon, was that there wasn't much in terms of story-based content to begin with here. So it wasn't like they were scrapping things. They didn't have anything to really kind of put out there to begin with. They weren't really planning much. So that is something that I feel like, you know, a lot of people aren't really talking about in terms of Halo and things like that. And I think Halo itself, the game was fun, but obviously they needed to do more in the post-launch content and things like that. I was never huge on the leadership there and thought they needed change with that, and they did change some things around, you know, but to think that obviously, you know, Halo is quote unquote dead or whatever, I think is kind of asinine to think that, but I do think that obviously there's going to be big changes coming, and you know what they're going to be able to do in the future, I think, is going to be anybody's question. Is like, for me, and I've stated this numerous times, at my age, you know, it's like when you're younger, you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens in 5 years with the next one or whatever. At my particular age, I'm not really doing that. It's like, you know, it is what it is, and we'll see what happens, but I'm too busy with other things to kind of focus on that right now. It's not like Microsoft only has Halo, and Infinite is still out there, and the multiplayer is still out there if I want to play it, and they're going to continue to add to that and make it better and better and better, which I think, you know, is pretty much all you can ask at this particular juncture anyway. So with that being said, you know, I would love to hear your guys' feedback. What do you think on all this? Like, this just feels like a huge mess to me. You know, comes and honestly, a lot of this stuff just happens to come at like the worst possible time, right? Like the absolute worst possible time that you could, you know, kind of imagine. Like, you know, Microsoft is out there trying to do this or that or the other thing, and then you've got all these type of people that are saying, hey, you know, this is like the worst time for you guys to come out there and have these issues. So, you know, I think that, you know, Microsoft has a long way to go still, and clearly when stuff like this comes up, they're going to have to do a much better job of proving to people that they're kind of a changed company, as it were. So I honestly do hope that they can kind of fix things up and get the people back on their side, because I think it's going to be a long road ahead of them for a lot of different reasons. And, you know, they don't get the leniency of a Sony. You know, it's like nobody on the gaming sphere was really talking about any of these other places that are laying off, you know, workers. Unfortunately, it's only has to do with Microsoft, because for whatever reason they, you know, don't like Microsoft and look at them as the biggest threat or whatever. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the future, but I think Microsoft will recover eventually at some point. You know, obviously some bigger news will come out, you know, and everybody will be focused on that and forget all about it. That's the way the internet works. And, you know, Microsoft, they get, you know, they should learn a little bit of a lesson here, though. It's like the trust with people is a huge thing. So let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Check out the links below. Crap Gamer out.